All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. I have been cranking content, son. I just did a video about Francis Jake Paul, the fight of the century. Well, Francis Tyson, anyway. Watch it. If you see something that says something like Jake Paul and Francis and the UFC and Josh Fabia or whatever, watch that video because I just went deep, son. I talked about Fabia a lot. I'll probably do that on this video. But what we're going to talk about on this video, we're going to talk about Israel Adesanya because it's BOOBIE-GATE again. It's BOOBIE-GATE again. Hey, what's up with his boob? Is this guy got gyno? Is he doing juice? Is this guy doing juice? Huh? We're going to bring in an expert. We're going to bring in the expert. You guys are going to be shocked by who I have to interview about this particular issue because we found out some things about gyno and whether you can have it on both, like one side versus both. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So buckle up. Now, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. If you chuckle at this video, even a little bit, you're going to have to subscribe. If you feel like you were informed of something you didn't know, you have to subscribe. Those are the deal. That's the deal. So anyway, all right. So here's the thing. So Izzy's got that thing going on again, which it looks like gyno on one of his boobs, right? And I heard everybody talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And I heard Bisping talk about it. And Bisping was like, here's what I'm going to say. The fact that it's only on one side makes me think it's not juice, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now, here's the thing about Bisping. Nobody hates juicers more than Bisping. Like, that guy does not. There's no, like, I think there are some people where they find out someone was doing juice, and they're like, well, they're just doing what they had to do to give themselves an edge. Like, that ain't Bisping, dude. He has no respect for people who do juice. He hates them. He's like Nate Diaz. Like, there's there are a few people that like nobody likes a cheater, but some people like really hate cheaters. And Bisping's definitely one of those guys. And he's given Izzy the benefit of the doubt. So when he said that, and he was like, it's only on one side, that just makes me think that's weird. And I did think that was weird too. So I did a little bit of research on whether or not you can get gyno on one side. And 35 to 40% of the time, people get gyno on one side, where it's not the same, or it's called like unilateral, or unilateral is where it's the same. I think. I don't know, whatever. There's unilateral and there's the other one, and one of them means you only get it on one side, and that happens 35 to 40% of the time. So the idea that because it's only on one side means that it's not juice, not true. Just fundamentally not true. Now, here's another thing that I read. It was like, well, what? Because I'm like, okay, well, if it's not that, what is it? Because I'm not saying that he's doing it. I don't know. But if it's not that, then what is it? Right? So I brought in an expert, and we're going to interview this expert. And this expert happens to be the foremost authority on all things UFC since the beginning of the organization. Tell us about it, Josh Fabia. Tell us about what? Tell us about juice and gyno and how we can know whether or not Izzy is doing juice. Well, of course he's doing juice. Why would you say that? Because I only know how to talk shit. I've never said a positive thing about anybody except myself. So of course he's on juice. I don't think you have anything to add here today, Fabia. You were in my other video, and that was really funny, where I dressed you up like Baby Rambo. But today, I don't think you have much to say here. So anyway, if you're in the mood for Fabia, watch my other video. But real talk, like, Izzy has looked the same to me since the beginning of his career. Okay. Like, I don't see any major change in his body. That doesn't mean that he wasn't on it always. But here's the other thing. This is something that he had and then went away and then came back. Okay. Now, if you get gyno from doing juice, there are things you take to make that not happen. You take estrogen blockers. Okay. Like, you do testosterone or you do whatever other shit they would do, and you take estrogen blockers. It's like Nolvadex or Arimidex, I believe, are the name of it. And then I think Clomid actually acts as an estrogen blocker also. And you take those, and then those are supposed to make you not get gyno. Okay. Now, I don't know if they work or don't work or fucking whatever, but you would think, given that you can take things that are supposed to make that not happen if you have a history of getting gyno, that Izzy would have implemented them if that was from that. Now, the reality is like in real talk, like what other things can you have cause that? And it's like organ failure, drug use, like it's all things that don't apply to Izzy at all. Like that's the thing that's weird, dude. Is like when I read the other things that cause gyno, it was like, well, these can't be Izzy, dude. Like Izzy is I mean, at least you would think Izzy is like one of the most healthy people on earth. I mean, in all honesty, like, look, I'm not accusing him at all. I'm just saying, if you look at him, he's a finely tuned athlete, right? He's a finely tuned athlete, and he gets gyno. If you're just a betting guy and you have to bet, you're like, well, which of these is causing that? Terrible diet, right? Hardcore drug use, or organ failure, or juice. You're like, I mean, there's other things with like hormone stuff that can cause it, but like, does Izzy look like a guy with a hormone imbalance? You know? Again, if this sounds like I'm trying to lay out like a case that he's doing it, I really am not. I'm just telling you like my thought process. I'm not accusing him of doing it. I really am just kind of like, what the hell is that then? If it's not that, what the fuck is it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have nothing to add to that. I don't have a Fabia joke for this, except for Fabia being like, I don't know much about gyno. I do know that when I see boobs on a man, I want to put them in my mouth. I don't know what it is. Something about a man with a nice set of boobs makes me want to touch them in ways that you're not supposed to feel. I always was told when I was a young little buck that I'm not supposed to feel the way that I feel towards men. And so I at least started to imagine what it would be like to be attracted to someone with breasts. And I realized I can be attracted to someone with breasts as long as they're on a man. So it's the best of both worlds. It's 2022. There's no rules anymore. If a guy's got boobs and I want to put them in my mouth, that's what I'm allowed to do. So I'm going to go do that. Fabia, Jesus, bro. Your little mouth couldn't get anything inside of it. How do you even feed yourself? You are the size of a fucking ant. Beat it, you little blackmailer. Jesus. The guy can't stop.